everyone, welcome back to our channel startuplanes.com. I'm Namrita and I'm taking interviews of the CEOs and founders of several innovative startups in India. In today's interview, I'll be talking to Mr. Gopal Sitaraman, the founder of Madme Mobility Solutions and Impulse. Mr. Gopal is a passionate and persistent entrepreneur with more than 20 years' experience in the fields of software sales and telecom. Have you heard of IoT or Internet of Things? Well, Impulse is an IoT based user feedback tool that helps brands capture their customers' feedback at the point of contact. You want to know more about this business? Let's get into the video. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining today. I'm Namrata and I'll be taking your interview. So, before the interview begins, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. Hi, my name is Gopal. I head this company called Madme Mobility Solutions Private Limited. We are headquartered in Chennai and we were founded in March 2013. It's been slightly more than 8 years now. It's been an eventful journey. So when I talk about Madme, we have two specific business divisions. One is software services division, which develops e-commerce portals and mobile apps, and we do a lot of regular software services projects also. And we have a dedicated product division which identify gaps in the market and tries to develop products related to that. It can be a software product, it can be a digital product. Okay, so this product division is exclusively for developing products. Yeah, in the service business, we have in the last 8 years, we have an experience of working with some of the best brands in India, including Hero Motor Corporation. Then you have Apollo, Medall Diagnostics, and quite a few offshore companies also. In the product division, our flagship product now is the product called Impulse, which is smiley feedback devices, which are mainly used for measuring customer feedback or employee feedback at corporates. So that is our flagship product right now. So that's a quick introduction about us.
All right. So when you started out, what was the idea behind it? Like, how did you come up with this idea to start a business like this?
Okay. See, right from my schooling days, I had always had a dream of starting my own business. Okay. So I had done very small stints at entrepreneurship during probably school vacations and college days, but it was not highly successful. But after completing my MBA, I got into a regular corporate career. Okay, like everybody else does. And probably at the end of some 12, 13 years, I realized I'm not cut out for a corporate career. So that is when I stepped out and got into entrepreneurship. So when I talk about, there are a lot of business options available. So what happened was my first few years of corporate career was into software sales. Okay, and so I had a fairly good amount of exposure into software and how it works, hosting capabilities, the server configurations, and stuff like that. And the latter part of my corporate career was into telecom business. I was working with companies like Escorts, Times Digital, and Vodafone. My last stint was with Vodafone. So I had a fair amount of exposure into telecom. So the business that I started is a combination of both this. So it is we develop software services with very specific focus on mobility. So you want to, any business process that can be mobile enabled, we work on those projects. Suppose you want to track your sales force by using a mobile app. Okay, so we develop products for that. We develop CRM solutions on mobile apps. Okay,
all right.
So that is the idea behind our business model.
Right. So when you started out, was there a prominent market gap that you could identify where your business model could rightly fit in?
See, when we started off the business, we were doing a lot of regular software projects. But I would like to specifically talk about this recent product that we have started, the flagship product called Impulse. Okay, that is addressed towards a very, very specific market gap and a market requirement. It would have happened to all of us. You go out for a restaurant for a dinner with your family. At the end of the dinner, then the supervisor or somebody comes and gives you a feedback form. Okay, so nobody wants to fill up that feedback form. It just goes around the table. I keep passing it on to the next person saying, "You fill up the feedback." It keeps going around till the reaches the youngest kid, and the youngest kid fills up the feedback form of whatever he thinks. Okay, so that data goes to the management, and they take actions based on that, which is a little absurd. The second method of getting feedback is through SMS and emails. Okay, which is a very passive mode. For example, I had a chat with my bank's relationship manager 3 days back. Okay, and today I receive a mail saying, "Can you rate your experience, rate your feedback with your chat on your chat with the relationship manager?" I absolutely don't recollect what is the chat I had with him. How was the experience? Okay, so which is a very passive mode. So that is where we thought the feedback has to be captured at the point of experience. Okay, I'm having coffee, I'm visiting a restaurant, I'm visiting a car service center. When the experience is fresh in my mind, that is when the feedback has to be captured. So it has to be at the point of experience, and that data has to be real time. Okay, so this is what I think a lot of corporates are lacking. Okay, so that is where we came up with this product idea where we said, you click one of the smileys, the data gets captured instantly. Okay, and that data is what is used by the corporates to enhance their customer experience. So that is the product, that is a market gap that we identified, into which we are positioning our product.
All right. I would also like to know from you that when you are starting out or when you are developing this new project of yours, how difficult or what are the challenges that you faced in particular?
You are asking about this specific product or the company as a whole?
Maybe both of a mix of both. Like, what were the persistent challenges?
Okay. See, one persistent, I would not say persistent, one of the biggest challenges or one of the most difficult points while you run a company is, for me, it was sometime in 2016 and 17. Okay. When we had developed a product. Okay. So our services division was doing well, and we had developed a product which was aimed at taking each and every small and medium training institute online. Okay, so right now online education is has grown exponentially, and everybody is adopting online education. But in 2016, a small and medium training institute cannot even dream of going online. They have very little resources. So we had developed a product very specifically for that market. Okay, so we had a product ready, there was a market, but somehow we were not able to scale it up because of lack of funds. We didn't have a proper mentorship at that point in time. Okay, so that was, I would say, one of the most difficult points in our journey. And at some point in time, it came to a scenario that we had to shelve that product. Okay, so probably if I had got in touch with Startup Lanes at that point in time, things would have been different. Okay, and that product could have been a really top seller in a current scenario, in a pandemic scenario where everybody is going in for online education. But way back in that time, after spending so many lakhs and so much of time, we had to shelve that product, and then we started developing something else. So I think.
Like you said, that you are giving out softwares to company, offering software services to company. Are there any other products or services that you're offering other than software?
Other than software, I think our entire focus of the entire company, right from the management to the lowermost levels in the sales and other departments, everybody is now focusing on the product called Impulse, which is a smiley feedback platform, which is aimed at measuring and monitoring customer experience. Okay, so that is giving us really good traction, and every brand or every corporate wants to capture feedback data. Okay, so that is picking up really well, and all of us are focusing on that particular product now. We are trying to see that we don't lose focus, so we are all focusing on that.
Okay, who are your target audience? Are they directly business, or are they directly customers, or it's a mix of both?
Okay, this our product is mainly B2B segment. Okay, so when I talk about target audience, I would classify them into three or four broad categories. Okay, one is enterprise customers or corporates like TCS, Accenture, Tata Motors. Okay, where there's a huge amount of employee workforce. Okay, and these companies are trying to provide best of the facilities for their employees, including cafeteria, gym, and a lot of other services. Okay, so how good was their experience, employee experience? They want to really measure that their employees are happy. Okay, in fact, in a next level, some companies are even measuring whether their employees are happy or sad at the time of when they are entering their premises. Okay, so that is the level to which corporates are trying to measure employee experience. So that is one large segment for us. Okay, the corporates which are trying to measure employee experience. Second largest segment for us is brands like TVS, Maruti Suzuki, or Hero Honda, or any place where there is mix of you have a showroom and you have a service center. Okay, or you have restaurants. So all these brands, where they are trying to measure the customer experience. Okay, when you step out of a service center, you want to give feedback on how was the service experience. So that the brands which are trying to measure their customer experience is another large segment for us. And third biggest segment which is coming up right now is hospitals and healthcare. Okay, right now in this pandemic scenario, I think only the healthcare segment is doing really well. And compared to the previous times, nowadays every hospital that is worth its name has got a patient experience and a very senior level person, at the level of GM or vice president, and a dedicated team to measure patient experience. Okay, they want to provide an really very good service for the patients. Okay, so the hospitals, the diagnostic clinics, the scanning centers. So the healthcare segment is what we have recently noticed, that is also coming up as a very large target audience for us. Okay. So the number one is corporates, number two are brands, service brands, and third one is the healthcare and hospitals are the target audience for us.
Understood. So if I was I was belonging from one of the three domains that you had just mentioned, and I asked you as a one-on-one basis that why should I go with your company and not anybody else to develop my software?
Okay. See, right now I'll talk about the Indian scenario. Okay, so we have done a complete market analysis. There are a lot of people who provide services like providing feedback forms and stuff like that. But this specific product, which is a smiley feedback device, we are the only one who's providing a decent looking product. Okay, so we have searched on Google, we have searched on IndiaMart. The kind of product that other competitors are offering are, I'm sure that a brand like Cafe Coffee Day or Apollo or TVS Motors will never purchase that device to keep it in front of their customers. So I think number one, we are focusing on the design. We are trying to come up with a really elegant looking device which you will not hesitate to show to your customers. Because see, typically you go out of a service center when you're giving feedback, your customer is seeing this device. So if you put up a very shabby looking device in front of a customer, he thinks very low about your brand. Okay, so we have focused on the design and I tried to come up with a really elegant looking device. Okay, and second important thing that we are talking about is our analytics and the dashboard that we provide. See, the device gets captured, the data gets captured on this device. Somebody clicks on a good or somebody clicks on a, this thing, poor feedback. They can also enter their mobile numbers followed by the feedback. This data gets captured on the cloud server. Okay. So unless that data is real time and really actionable, it is of no help. Unless that data has to reach the relevant person at the right time. So we have a really insightful dashboard that we have provided, and we are backing it up with SMS alerts and a lot of other notifications. This is backed by a mobile app. So what happens is, if something goes wrong at the customer point, the person who's in charge of the service is instantly notified. Okay, so that is one important point that why customers are choosing us.
Okay. Also, when associating or collaborating with vendors for facilitating your business, what are the parameters you judge them upon before taking them on board?
See, the primary thing that we judge a vendor, see, there are right now our product is a combination of physical device and digital services. Okay, it's a combination of hardware and software. So we call it a phygital model. So there is dependence on the vendors in terms of manufacturing and working on designs and stuff like that. So one important parameter that we look forward is whether they are able to bring in more value addition. Because I tell them something and they develop it, it is very easy. Okay, anybody can do that. So what we try to see is whether are they able to bring in any of their insights, their experience to add value to our product. Okay, because I may not be the most super intelligent person in the world. Okay, so if he's able to bring in some ideas and enhance the product on our behalf, so those are the kind of vendors that we are looking at.
Okay. Also, I would like to know from you, have you planned anything for the future, like short-term goals or long-term goals?
Of course, we have. See, short-term goals is to sell this product the maximum number of units in India, and we want this device to be visible in each and every service center, automobile service center, or it can be restaurants. We want this device to be visible and the brand name to be the most popular one. Okay. Long-term plans, I would say that we want to be a single point of contact, single one-stop shop for all the customer experience needs. For example, we are working on a product on artificial intelligence where somebody walks out of a service center or a restaurant or something. Will you be able to measure whether the customer is happy or sad purely by the facial expressions? Okay, so there are a lot of AI models coming up right now. So we are trying to see whether we can use that and judge the customer, his experience, her experience without clicking the smiley. Okay, so you have your coffee, you come out of the restaurant, we scan your face and identify that you are happy with the experience or sad. Okay, so those are the kind of models, that futuristic things that we are working on in long term.
Okay, sounds great. Also, you would agree to this fact that when a company or a startup, for a matter of fact, wants to grow and expand, having a regular steady fund is a very crucial role in it, plays a crucial role. So, walk me through the funding scenario of your company. Like, have you previously taken any funds, or are you in the near future?
We'll definitely go in for funding. Okay. Right now, we have not gone in for any funding. Right now, it is completely bootstrapped, and run on our own. But if we want to scale up this product in a big way, uh, it is a resource intensive, investment intensive product. Okay, suppose you want to sell 1,000 units per month or 10,000 units per month. So that amount of stock has to be available. And if I want to stock so much, that directly translates into money. Okay, so that is where I think we'll definitely go in for investment as soon as it crosses a threshold sales limit.
Okay.
So we definitely have plans to go in for funding.
Okay. Also, one question for you is that if I am into software, hypothetically, if I am into developing softwares and all, and I want to work with you as one of your valued employees, so and I ask you in the interview that, so why should I go ahead with your company and not anybody else? Like, what are the benefits I'll get as a employee?
Okay. See, benefits as an employee. See, right now, I think money is not the only criteria that the millennials are looking at. Okay. So, because we are a startup, we are small, we are lean. Okay. So, if you join us as an employee, there is a wide range of learning that you will go through. Okay, you will have exposure to different departments or product development life cycle, how it is being developed, how it is being marketed, how it is enhanced. You will have a complete knowledge of of the product. Okay, a holistic experience which is not possible in a large corporate. Okay, so that learning curve will be much faster. So that is I think that will be one significant factor uh, why you should join us. Of course, we'll pay at par with the market standards or slightly more than that to attract really good talent. Okay, but this is the single foremost reason which I would recommend you to join us.
Okay, sir. But well,
The
that was
learning.
yeah, that would bring an end to this session. But before we close, I would like to know your feedbacks on startup lanes.
Startup lanes, I only wish that I am introduced to startup lanes in 2016. Okay. So if I had got exposure to the startup lanes kind of environment, probably I was too focused on my product that I didn't look out for a company like startup lanes. If I had introduced to startup lanes in 2016, our product, our destiny would have been much different. Okay, the most important reason I would say is mentoring. Okay, any business owner, see, for a company like MadBee, I'm heading MadBee. Okay, so there are not too many people who come to you and give a feedback saying, Gopal, what you're doing is wrong. Okay, or what you're trying to do will not work out. Those kind of feedback, I think only a community like Startup Lanes can provide us. I think that is one important point I would like to highlight about Startup Lanes.
Okay, sir. Well, thank you for your kind words about startup lanes, and also thank you for joining and sharing your views about your business to our viewers and on our platform.
Sure. Thank you, Namrata.
Yeah, thank you, sir.